Hey there guys, it's Chaos back again. So continuing on to the series of all the replays that I want to show you guys. I'm still recording on basically the same day here as when I made the deck video. So we're going to go up against Koala Man here, and Koala Man's actually got a higher deck power than I do, but once again it doesn't really matter in rank 1. This game's pretty interesting. I was still learning my deck at this time, and I really didn't have a solidified strategy in how I play my deck, and this guy's pretty much meta out, right? So this is like old meta deck, except for Big Bone and Succubus. But Wolf Spider's all up in here, and items you could take a look at. This guy's got like really stacked with legendary items, right? And some flash cards that I personally probably wouldn't play, but this guy's making it work, right? He's here where he's at, and he's at Diamond League. And yeah, I'm rolling the same deck that I have, so yeah, this is a scary list of items, man. So let's go take a look and see what we're doing. So same thing, I'm going to try to go ahead and pause at key points to explain some of the strategies that are going on my head. But this game, there wasn't really much deep thought. It was just really winging it, so I go first. So immediately right off the bat, I have Void Element, and these are the easier thought decision games. It plays for you. When you have Void Element, there is no hard decision. You just drop them, or you sack them, basically. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a sack and see where we go from there. So now I have a sack, and I skip turn 1 still, because once again, I don't know what the other guy has. I don't know if he has the ability to sack as well. And I have two things here. I could have dropped Blue Dragon naked, but that is the quickest way to lose Blue Dragon. I rarely want to do that unless I know I have something else that I could follow up with, or if I have another Void Element, something. Because once you drop Blue Dragon and you die after a sack, you get 4 crystals on your next turn. That is a huge risk, because you're down 1 sack target, you're down one of your biggest tanks, and this guy's got enough firepower to kill a Blue Dragon. You're dealing with something nasty. There are games where I will drop them. It really depends on the feel of the game. Now, the items that I have as well that you got to take a look at when you start with these, I could use both of these items. So this is why I felt more comfortable waiting 1 turn before dropping Blue Dragon, because for 7, this guy's going to stay alive a lot longer. And I could then drop Goblin. If he stays alive, I could drop the bracers on him, and he's going to be a force to reckon with, right? Now, if I had to, I will sacrifice this between these 2 items, because I really only ever need 1 bracer for my entire game for it to run well. So one thing you don't want to do is stagnate yourself by not sacrificing. If you don't sacrifice in a turn, it slows your tempo down. So if I have nothing to sack on this side, this card would go. Like, there would not even be a thought process in my head. Like, I just know that having 2 of these in my deck, I only need the 1. I will get there, and this will go. So this guy just drops in, maxed out Muscalard, right, at 8 hit points. And it's not a bad move. 8 is pretty hard to kill, but no flying is why I don't value Muscalard much. And especially since he didn't sack anything. That is, especially since you've seen somebody sack and lose an Obsidian Spear right in front of your eyes, and you're not sacking. What happens if I kill this? I have the potential to kill this. It's very easy. It's hard to do with 3 crystals. With 9, you're almost dead, like 100%. You're completely dead. You just drop them and not gain anything for it. So let's take a look at what I do. Of course, I drop Blue Dragon. Now, that was the thing there, was I ended up dropping Blue Dragon. I already said that I was going to play the armor. But the reason why I didn't play the armor first and I played Goblin first is because I want to see if I draw the second Void Element. So the time of play on how you play the cards is important. I already knew that I was going to drop this armor on Blue Dragon. I was not going to drop him naked. We all knew that was happening. But I dropped him and Goblin first. That cycled enough cards for me, because these 2 added together was 8. I had 9. So I only had 1 left after dropping this guy. I would not have been able to play the card if Void did not come out. But I was okay sacrificing Acolyte as well, or I could have sacrificed this card. That would have gave me 2. So by seeing Void Element come out, I have actually gained one crystal on this turn. So that's very key. That's a very key high level type of game. This is how you win games on the higher levels, is that you have to make every single move count. So once again, drop this, have one left, hope for Void. Void doesn't come out, I could sack this card, which I was planning on doing on turn 1 anyways. With that, I would have gotten 2. The 2 would have allowed me to put an armor on Blue Dragon. But with this move, I had gained actually 2 crystals, not 1, because the sack on Void gives me 2 extra. So I could have put this on Goblin, but I chose not to, because you do not, once again, what do you not want to do? Overcommit. Now, putting armor on something is actually a plus, but remember, this is a sackable card. So in case things hit the fan, I could sack this and gain another crystal to add 6 to my next turn. So this is the reason why I don't drop it. And early on in the game with 6 monsters left, you do not have to protect what's out here. What you need to protect is what's left. So we already seen him hit 1 damage here, right? And that's the key. You do the math. 5 plus 2 plus the minimum of 1 is 8. This guy's dead. I do not need to overcommit. So that was one of the best returns on investment that you can get. Now, this is Fear, and I already talked about Fear, right? So they sack, and now they got a Wolf Spider. Oh, meta out. This is going to be painful. So that was a huge turn for them, because they had enough crystals with the sacking to get a Fighting Glove. So now this is going to give them some defense against my Blue Dragon. Wolf Spider could completely wreck Blue Dragon if they were to entangle it, because now this guy will be able to hit him. So Big Bone is kind of problematic. Knowing that, and now it's being my turn, right? So I'm going to end up with 7 crystals. And I already sacked both of my Void elements. So what I'm going to do is obviously not drop Acolyte, because Acolyte is not my mainstays on 2 and 3. And I know Banner Parrot is on the horizon. So obviously the play would be to drop Falcon Rider and to see what comes up next. And lo and behold, so I had dropped Falcon Rider. I was down to 2 crystals, and then I had to sack one of my other piercing armor for Banner Parrot. Now I kept this because this is now getting into mid to late game. When you're down to 5 monsters, the starting hands have already been dealt. You already got strong position on the board. This is going to be a game of, could I get rid of stuff with armor now? So this stayed instead of the armor, because I have nothing but armor cards left basically. I lost Obsidian Spear. And everything else outside of this card is all armor. So I'm comfortable losing the other armor. And from this point on out, after all the sacking, if this guy kills anything, I'm going to get crystals back. I don't have an issue playing 3 crystal cards at this point in the game. So sacking the 2 armor is not bad. And the extra damage can be win or lose in the late game. Early game, this is better. Now, do you guys remember what I said about Banner Parrot, where to place him? That was key, and there was another decision that was made in there as well, whether or not to even drop Banner Parrot. I did it just because I want to get rid of the armor, put the pressure on, right? I need to get rid of the Wolf Spider, and basically doing all of that now reduces this guy to 2 damage. So the decision is, do I put an armor on him? Do I just let him die? Like, what do I do, right? Now, that was one of those cards that I think is the second strongest flash card. That Poison Dagger for 2 crystals, you get 3 damage, and you just destroy the armor, right? But here's the thing. Wolf Spider, from what I can see with this play, they usually entangle the edges before the center. It's really rare that they entangle the center before the edges. So I'm not too much afraid of them entangling Blue Dragon, but there's not much I could do. I mean, this is just me explaining what I'm seeing in the situation. So this is going to do 2 damage. I look at this, it's not going to die, right? These 2 are reach and melee, so they're going to hit the middle. Banner Parrot's completely untouched. They would have to hit both, because this is going to be 4 damage from the, oh my god, what the hell do you call this? The Inspire. So this is going to be 4 damage for the Inspire, and then 6 from here. So they got a total of 10. They could kill this, but once again, we got flying, so let's see what pans out, right? They have to be really lucky. And if they do hit it, well, it is what it is. And you got also extra damage here that can help as well. So they did the best that they can possibly get out of that turn, right? They literally had about as good of a turn as you can get. So what they got there was 2 damage on Banner Parrot, and then basically, well, this, if they would have hit this and got rid of the bracers, I think that would have ultimately been the best move. But I mean, you know, this with or without the bracer would have killed Wolf Spider anyways. So this is irrelevant, but it gives it 1 armor, makes it harder, a little bit harder to kill. Notice that this guy didn't trigger the flying at all. So flying on ranged targets are pretty underpowered, I'll say. It's not the biggest skill set. So that's why I'm like Falcon Rider, I'm a little iffy about being in this deck. But they got both of these to hit. My flying did not trigger with Blue Dragon. Oh no, the OP-ness, what the hell, right? So, well, with that gone, guess what? I still have 2 more tanks. This is the beauty of this deck. Like, you could kill the 1 tank. I got all armors and 2 more tanks. So guess what's going to come out next? I don't even have to say it. My favorite tank. So I didn't sack anything because I don't believe that they have what it takes to kill. I mean, they just, on the last turn, straight up kill, and they sacked just to use their Magic Bomb to kill my Banner Parrot. So that's, like I said, that's where the dice roll really helped them out, right? And I lost one of my cards that I said that it was a staple. So it is what it is, man. You win some, you lose some. So could they repeat again with 10 damage here? Nah. Now, what I think they should have done, especially knowing that they have a Blue Dragon in hand, what they should have done was not focus on the Banner Parrot. Because if you get rid of the tank, the supports die with it. If you would have focused on this guy and one of these guys hit, because you need a 50-50, right? So if that Magic Bomb would have hit this guy, I would have lost 4 HP from the Magic Bomb, 4 from here. It would have been 8. I would have died. And this guy could have killed or hit at least this one here. And I do have one more card, but they have a Blue Dragon coming up. So once again, I think that was a mistake on high level play, that where you're killing the Banner Parrot, you're killing the DPS, but in reality, you needed to stay alive. So that was a huge mistake because they left this guy alive, and this is where my survivability is at this moment. So goodbye, board clear, and guess what? Now you're down to Blue Dragon. You got 5, and then you sack for 1. And check this out. He's got some things here that could have probably saved them or at least kept them alive. But he couldn't use it because he ran out of crystals. He needed to buy 1 more turn. That 1 more turn could have been if they would have played Magic Bomb on this guy. Pure and simple. I mean, if any one of those 2 would have hit this guy at that last turn, he would have died. And then I would have had to play Acolyte in the middle, and I would have had full power on either side. And then I don't have an armor right now for Acolyte. But that's just the way the ball bounces, you know. I mean, I still probably would have won the game, but you never know. So now with that, we'll take a look at how this ends. Drop all the damage. Now, flying could have proc there, would have been problematic, but I probably got a few turns to kill him, and I have Acolyte on the end. I have an armor on Falcon Rider, so it would have took at least like 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns, 4 turns, because I don't think Falcon damage or Falcon Rider had any damage. It would have been 5 turns, and I had my Armor of Darkness there. He wouldn't have survived 5 turns with magic damage on the side. So that's game 2. Sorry I stumbled a little bit on that explanation in that video, but once again, I hope explaining the strategy behind the thought process really helps how to play this deck. The reasoning behind what you do when you do. So that was against Koala Man. And next game, we'll go ahead and look at... I have one of my losses, and you know what? We will play this, because once again, I will show you all the ones up to a point, because they have some bots and stuff like that. But I will show you this game on the next video, so come back and we'll be looking at the game versus Zero. And I'll show you why I lost. I lost this game really, really quickly, and there isn't much strategy once I lost. But, I mean, let's go take a look and see how the thought process is when you make a mistake, what the mitigation processes. So that's next video, and I'll see you guys then. Take care. Bye bye.